Do you know that 9 out of 10 people who appear for Gallup round of interview, they fail. They are not able to make it and clear this interview round. And do you know why? Well, there are definitely many reasons. But let me take you through some of the important aspects of the Gallup interview process. I'm sure if right now you're watching this video and you are thinking to prepare for Gallup, you would have definitely cleared some 2 or 3 rounds of interview with the hiring managers as well as with the HR rounds. And if you have done well, they would have definitely told you that now you have to go for a Gallup round. And that's where you would have heard this for the first time, what this Gallup is all about. Well, I also hope by now you would have watched my previous videos where I have talked about what is Gallup, how to prepare for it, and few videos containing questions and answers, potential answers that you can think of. But today, I am recording this video for your benefit because I want you to understand what are the potential reasons that people fail in Gallup interview. What are those unknowing actions, attitudes, behaviors they exhibit or lack of their preparation that they do due to which they fail miserably. So wherever you are in this world, and if you are preparing for Gallup, this video is going to give you a lot of understanding, a lot of impact while you are preparing for your Gallup round. And if you have any questions, if you have any query in spite of whatever I am going to tell you, feel free to write me back on my email ID arun.thukral@hcnconnect.in. And I will be more than happy to respond back to you, as I want people who are watching this video to get benefit out of it. And one more thing, don't forget to like and subscribe my channel so that you get more updates, more new videos that I'm going to share ahead so that you are updated. So today I'm going to take you through the 9 reasons that what people knowingly or unknowingly make mistakes and they miserably fail in the Gallup round. But before that, let me give you a broad preview that what Gallup is all about. Gallup is all about knowing you. Knowing you means your values, your experiences, your examples of your work areas, your professional understanding, your behaviors and your attitudes. Now, how you are going to exhibit that in those questions that they are going to ask you, that is where your right personality or a true personality will come out. Or in other words, if I say that if you try to think of mugging up those answers that you have thought about it, it's not going to work because you are going to have a volley of questions of not less than 100 plus and you won't have time to think. So in other words, if you are not very clear about you yourself, who you are, what values you carry, what are your traits and what are the examples to justify that, this is not going to work out. So the number one reason that I want you to tell is, the basic reason is that people are not confident. And the sign of low confidence or poor confidence is that people fumble when they answer their questions. Or the other sign of poor confidence is that people are not able to come out with the right example. So they start making up the examples in giving their answers. And that is very clearly reflected because whatever you are going to speak is going to get recorded in the tape at the side of Gallup. So whatever you say, you have to say it with lot of confidence and lot of clarity. The second reason is that to give precise and to the point answer. Because while you are answering questions, you would get certain questions which are very pointed. Like for example, are you always busy? Now, if I start defining it that yes, I am always busy, but I have a lot of work to do, it is not going to work. The question is, are you always busy? The first response has to be very firm. Yes. So first of all, you have to give a very pointed answer to the pointed question. Or are you a quick thinker? Yes. So when you give this firmness of an answer, it shows that you are confident and you are clearly sorted in your thought process. But many times candidate, they start explaining this, that yes, I am confident. I do a lot of things in my previous role where I have handled things in one of the projects, and then you miss out the whole thing. These are very pointed questions and it doesn't require detailed elaboration. Reason number 3. People are not able to come out with relevant examples. So let's understand first of all the very basic. Gallup is all about what you did in the past. They are not that very keen about what you are going to do in the future. For a simple reason is because past is a reflection of your future behavior. So they want to know everything which has happened in the past. So in simple words, when you are not able to bring out the right and relevant examples from your previous past, you are not able to connect the questions that they are asking, because they want to know what exactly you did, whether you were successful, how you were successful, if you were a failure, how you were a failure. Until you are able to connect the right examples to their questions, they will not be able to predict your behaviors. So think about the right and relevant examples from your past history to connect the pieces to answer those questions. Now we come to reason number 4. That is, be specific. I've seen a lot of candidates, they are giving vague and wider examples. They are not specific. So what do I mean by being specific? Being specific means give a date, give a year, give a specific number, give the name of the project, as specific as you can. I'm sure you would have heard about SMART principle, that is specific, measurable, result oriented, and time bound. Now, if you focus on this, your answer will become very, very sharp. Like for example, do you outperform others? So the first answer is yes. So that shows your firmness. Now followed by, you have to give an example. Like for example, in 2022, I outperformed my entire team and I was the highest performer with 113% performance to my target. Not only that, 2 of my products, product A and product B, have done exceedingly well with 38% growth. Now look at it, the number specificity that I'm giving. Now, if you are not specific, if you just give a vague example that I was a high performer last year, I have got higher ratings, and my boss appreciated me a lot because there was a difficult project that I wanted to do, I'm sure you can now make a difference between what I meant by being specific. Reason number 5, energy, enthusiasm, and excitement. A lot of candidates miss out on this. And the real reason of having the right energy, enthusiasm, and excitement is directly proportional to your confidence. Now, even if people are confident, they really need to sound confident. When I say sound confident, means that their answers should have a lot of energy, excitement, and enthusiasm, because eventually you are trying for a job that you are really looking forward to get into. Now, if you are not excited about it in giving your answers, if you are not excited about the whole process that you are going through, and it's not sounding that way, and if it sounds very dull, it sounds very lack of energy, then I'm sure it's not gonna attract anybody, because that looks that you are highly unenthusiastic towards the work. So very simple. What you need to do is you need to really charge up yourself, motivate yourself that you are there for a right reason. But if you are nervous, if you are full of anxiety, you will definitely miss out this important trait. And that's where a lot of candidates miss out, and they don't know, and they give answers in a very casual tone or in a very less confident tone, and they get rejected. Reason number 6 is that people are not aware about the competencies under which they are getting evaluated, or in other words, they are not aware of competencies. Now, a lot of people feel that they have to just answer the questions when they are asked during the Gallup interview process. But please understand, you have to do some homework. You have to go back and first of all, read your own resume. Find out in that resume what are the key competencies that you have highlighted as your strengths. Vis-a-vis, you now go and thoroughly read the job description provided to you by the organization for which you have applied for. Every job description a company will share will also have certain set of behaviors, certain set of traits, certain set of competencies that they are looking out in the candidates. Now the trick is, I'm seriously telling you that the trick is that you have to understand those competencies thoroughly, and while you are answering those questions, you have to use those keywords when you are repeating the answers or you are repeating those pointers that you are giving back. So for example, if I have to talk about words like leadership, I'll talk about strategic direction, I talk about teamwork, I talk about motivation, I talk about collaboration, I'm a driver, I'm an initiator. Now, your examples should have some of these keywords so that you reinforce the same pointers as it is asked in the job description. I've seen a lot of candidates, they are very casual, they just talk like in a routine way, and that's where their answers are not matching with the expectation at the side of Gallup, and you are not fitting into the criteria that they are looking at. So you need to be a little sharp and polished in observing those important competencies and understand that how your answers are matching with those competencies. Reason number 7, inconsistent answers. You would find that a lot of candidates are not very sure of what they said in the beginning and what they said in the middle and what they are going to say at the end of the interview. That means they give contradictory statements. Let me give you an example. If a question comes like this, how do you rate yourself being organized on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 high? Let's say you answer 9 or 10. After few questions, there is another question. Are you always busy? And you say, yes, I'm always busy. Now, if you are not able to make up the answer after this, there could be a contradictory statement that you might be making. Maybe you may say that, no, I am not busy. So you have to think through that your previous question where you say that you are very organized, then how can you be very busy? Or there could be another question that can come after few questions and that says that, how do you deal with when you are loaded with additional responsibilities and more work given to you? Now, all these questions are interrelated, but how do you answer it and bring a consistency in that will prove a point that you are clear with your thought process. But a lot of candidates do not even understand this. They answer it the way the question comes because there are question after question coming during the Gallup interview and their inconsistencies are mapped and they are clearly rejected in the interview round. So you have to pay a lot of attention in this, that how do you remain consistent and don't give contradictory answers. Reason number 8, it's all about professional, which means that whatever examples that you're going to give has to have the flavor of all your professional track record, how you have achieved certain things, how you have failed in certain things, how you have dealt with your boss, how you have dealt with your colleagues, how you have dealt with your career. But it has nothing to do with your personal stuff. So I'll give you some examples where people make mistakes. So maybe in between you may get one of the questions, what has been your biggest achievement so far? And some people mention that I got recently married. Somebody says that I recently bought a flat. Now, these are your personal achievements. These have nothing to do about your professional achievement. So while answering, you need to be very particular about giving a professional example. So for example, I was rewarded by my managing director, or I was recognized for a special award because of my effort. And what was that all effort about? So candidates miss out on this very small thing and they start narrating their personal problems or personal examples. Another example, have you motivated in the recent past? Now, somebody say, yeah, I motivated my son, or I just motivated my wife. Now, they are not the relevant answers. They are not relevant to the job that you have applied for. So you have to talk about your teammate, you have to talk about your client or some supplier, and that's where your role becomes more sharper. Now, having said that, if there is a question that comes very pertinent about something related to how do you spend time in your personal side, or how do you allocate time on your personal work, that's where your personal example should come. But on 99% of the occasion, you will find that they would focus all about your professional world, your professional achievements. And finally, we come to the reason number 9, and that is one of the most prominent and the most featured problem area or a strength area for someone is the communication style or communication skills. A lot of people, while answering the questions, have no clue about it, that how long they have to speak or how short they have to speak. And in this race, they just keep on going and explaining the answers in a long and elaborated way. They start giving those details which are not relevant to the example. They start talking at length. So one question will take a longer time, whereas the second question will just end up in just few seconds. Now that brings out lack of communication skills and lack of consistency in your answers. So unless you don't work on your communication skills, you become very precise, you become very expressive, you become very effective. You also bring out certain emotions that when you felt joyed or when you failed in something, it's not going to express the true picture of who you are. Since it's a telephonic interview, it's not a face-to-face interview. So everything is going to be judged on the tone of your voice, length of your sentence, and the quality of the content that you speak in the subject or the example that you are giving to the question that has been raised to you. I hope you can absorb what I said. But if you can really understand it slowly and steadily, you would be able to come out very clearly with the answer. Well, having said that, the only submission that I have is if you focus on these 9 parameters, you can definitely work wonders. I have a long list to give you what are the reasons of failure during a Gallup interview, but I felt that these are some of the most common ones which you should practice and which you should be aware of. And right now, once again, I'm repeating, if you still have any doubt, feel free to write me back. I will get back to you with a detailed answer, as well as if you want to get coached by me, you can write me back on arun.thukral@hcnconnect.in. I'll respond to you very promptly, as I have more than 18 students who have so far undergone this training, this coaching on Gallup, and they all have made it. And I repeat, they all have made it. And I have a lot of testimonials, but these are personal ones. I can only show you once you are along with me and you are working along with me and taking certain coachings. I can share all these testimonials to you. Thank you very much for watching this. And if you really like this video, I want you to comment back in the comment section below and tell me how did you find it? Was it useful to you? And if you really find it useful, don't forget to share it with your friends in your network so that they can also get benefit out of it. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching me.